guys, this is attorney Marina Shepelsky, and I want to discuss what the end of Title 42 means for immigration at the border. What does it mean generally? I did a lot of research, I gathered a lot of materials on this, and basically the following 10 things are what's gonna define the end of Title 42. I hope you find this interesting. And before I start, I ask you to please subscribe to our channel and please hit like to give us a signal that you like this kind of content. Thanks. Okay, number one, May 11th was the end of Title 42. What is Title 42? It was a special public law used temporarily only for 38 months during COVID, the COVID pandemic, to stop people from coming in at the border using a BS excuse of public health. So basically they would use other things before, but now they said, oh, well, for health reasons, you shouldn't be entering, right? May 11th, officially it ended because the White House declared the end of the COVID pandemic, no more pandemic. So the first thing that we have to understand, this first out of 10, is that we're back to normal now. So Title 42 is out. We go back to the way things were at the border before. What's normal, right? Normal was the third country transit ban. What does it mean in regular people's language? People should be asking for asylum using the new CBP1 mobile app while being in Mexico. That is when you will not be asked why, you passed through Mexico, what is the problem? After that, you still, even using the app or not using the app, have to explain why you didn't ask for asylum in Mexico. And if you didn't file for asylum through the app, you will have a much higher burden of proving why you didn't apply for asylum in Mexico. So people who are not using the app have to do more now to explain why they didn't ask for asylum in Mexico. And you will have to prove exactly which countries you traveled through and why you didn't ask for asylum in those countries. For example, if you had to transfer on an airplane in Turkey, somebody might ask, why didn't you ask for asylum in Turkey? So USCIS and the government will be asking about that. Okay, and the next point is that, look, Title 42 was there, but it really did not stop people from coming in legally, illegally, asking for asylum at the border, asking for all kinds of relief at the border. It didn't really deter or stop people from coming. So that's point number 2. 3, I along with other immigration advocates do not think that the end of Title 42 equals a lot more immigrants at the border. The immigrants who wanted to come in here were coming in here even the worst time of the COVID pandemic. When you're running away from your country because you're being persecuted, you don't think about Title 42, and many immigrants don't even understand what Title 42 means. So I don't think there's going to be a huge increase after May 11th, but right now there is an increase, of course, that's a fact. Currently, there's a lot more people coming through the border and officially asking for asylum. They're running out of space in the detention centers. So my advice is, if you are planning to come in, use the app, get a place to live in Mexico for 3-4 months, where you can afford to stay in Mexico for 3-4 months while you're waiting for an interview through the app. And if you don't want to go into detention and live sometimes under the open stars in U.S. detention and camps, refugee camps, please make sure you have a sponsor in U.S., a guarantor who can sign a package of documents for you, like an affidavit of support, that they promise that you'll make it to court. They promise to give their address to you for immigration court removal proceedings. A guarantor or a sponsor will help you avoid detention. Number 4, Title 42 has really changed the nationalities of people coming through the border. For example, when the war with Ukraine started, a lot of Ukrainians came in, but now the Ukrainians are not coming to the border. They're applying through the Uniting for Ukraine program. Also, there's a new program similar to Uniting for Ukraine to some of the Central American countries, El Salvador, and so on. So people are applying online through that application as well. And a lot more people are coming in from those countries. Also, Venezuela started to come in. So the nationalities changed a lot during Title 42, and it's a little different now at the border from what it was before. Number 5, the U.S. government will still be turning people away at the border who are asking for asylum in huge amounts because they cannot handle all these people coming in. They cannot process all these people. They cannot handle all these people. A lot of people will not know how to use that app, and people will be turned away. So even after Title 42 ends, even without Title 42, lots and lots of people will be turned away. Then, people are expected to be suing the U.S. government after Title 42 ends. ACLU attorneys are going to sue on the return of the transit rule, proving that you didn't ask for asylum in the third countries, just like they were suing the Trump administration. Since it's the same rule, they're probably going to sue the Biden administration. Number 7, we do think it will be a little bit easier to ask for asylum if you follow all the rules. If you use the app, CBP1, if you have a guarantor, once Title 42 ends, and it ended already, it will be a little bit easier for the people who know how to follow the rules, can read in English, or maybe have a lawyer or an organization helping them. 8, Mexico has agreed to let its border cities to continue to fill up with stranded migrants. So Mexico agreed to kind of still take all these immigrants in, even when people are being turned away. So what happens is the immigrants come to the border, they get turned away for a reason other than Title 42, they go back, then they try again. Many people go back and forth to try several times to enter, and Mexican cities are still cooperating and keeping them there. They're not throwing those people out. And finally, 9 is instead of limiting asylum access, the Biden administration could be doing better by managing historic improvements, but they're not. And the 10th point is that the administration is backing other pathways for legal migration and work, but they are no substitute for reform. So yes, the Trump administration made a lot of bad changes. Then the Biden administration came in, they tried to undo them. Then the COVID epidemic started, and Title 42 kicked in. Now it's ended. So what Biden pretty much did now is go back to before Title 42 times, but they did implement some new programs for people from certain countries in Latin America to apply through the special humanitarian parole programs with sponsors, right? So they are trying to do something. They are. But what they should do is make immigration reform and amnesty and fix a lot of these things that are wrong with our immigration system instead of just twiddling and playing around with the existing bad system. That's what I think. That's a lot of other immigration lawyers think. So I hope this clarifies the 10 points of information about the end of Title 42 at the U.S. border and how it's playing out in the immigration system. Thank you for watching till the end. My name is Marina Shepelsky. We have a big law firm full of attorneys who are really excited to work with new people. We have openings for new clients and help people immigrate and legalize in the U.S. and making your dream come true. Call us today for a paid consultation. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.